Good morning, you guys. It is a beautiful sunny Wednesday morning, and we're again getting a late start on the day. This cold has really been kicking the kids' butts. Barrett did not wake up until 15 minutes ago, and it's like 9:30 right now. So he slept in this morning, but I thought today in our video I would share just kind of how we go about our homeschool routine. Obviously, it's going to be a little out of whack because the kids do have colds and we're getting a later start, but I thought I would show just kind of how I balance the back and forth between the two kids because they're not using the same, well, they're using the same curriculum, but they're in different grades. Oakley is in second grade and Barrett is in kindergarten. So the kids already ate. I've had my coffee. I'm about to go pour another cup, and I'm gonna set up the table. I'm gonna show you guys just some things that we do that are kind of helpful for our family, and they may not be helpful for your family, or maybe it just wouldn't work at all because you have more kids or whatever. So I'll just kind of share a few things. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I am still very new to homeschooling. This is our second year, and there might be some things that you see me do and you're like, why is she doing that? And I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm still kind of trying to find our groove. This year so far has ran a lot more smoothly than last year, just because I think a lot of it is I feel a little bit more confident. Last year going into it, Oakley was in first grade. I was teaching her to learn how to read, and I just honestly felt so overwhelmed because it seemed like such a huge task to teach a kid how to read, and I just always had this mindset that I wasn't smart enough to do it. So now seeing Oakley and the progress that she's made, it's just kind of like a confidence booster that I can do this. So anyways, this year's running more smoothly. I'll share just kind of how we set up our table. I've mentioned this before. We do not have an extra room in our house for a homeschool room, so we just do everything in our dining room. So I'm gonna get the kids to help me set up the table, and I'll show you guys how we go about our homeschool day. All right, guys, this is our dining room table. This is our homeschool little shelf that we have over here. And the first thing that we do is Barrett normally does this for me, is he sets out the placemats. We always use placemats on our table. We have placemats for when we're doing arts and crafts in schools, and then we have separate placemats for when we're eating. So Barrett sets one out for each person, and then one in the middle for our little caddy. You want to put one in the middle for Sissy? Thank you. Yes, we just have this caddy over here. My friend actually gave this to me. She was moving and she didn't need it. So I just have like anything that we might need. Glue, scissors, pencils, a pen, colored pencils, markers, that kind of thing. And then the next step is, honestly, the kids do the setup for homeschool most every day. So it's really nice. Oakley just set up my teacher's manuals for me. I have Barrett's on this side and Oakley's on this side, since that's the spots that they sit in. So what's wrong, bud? You're gonna get the baskets. So the next thing we do is, you wanna show them? We put a chair right here next to my chair, and they put their baskets of stuff onto the chair. Uh-oh, it's heavy, huh?
Yeah, I got that. No.
He's got it. Yep, so that way I can sit here and I can just pull any materials that we may need. I fill these baskets up at the beginning of the school week. Oops, hold on, buddy, scoot it over. They both fit on there. They go off the sides a little bit. That's okay. Perfect. Are you guys gonna hop up to the table?
No.
So anyways, like I was saying, these baskets, this is Barrett's, this is Oakley's. It has our read aloud that we're doing, any history books, her math book, math, spelling, all that kind of stuff. And then this is Barrett's. It's got his God's Amazing World, a little notebook for him to journal in. It's got his flashcards, some really simple readers. So these are just the things that we use every day, and it's really nice. Maybe this sounds lazy, but it's really nice to be able to sit in one spot and not have to move to get anything. I know that probably sounds lazy, but it just makes it run a lot more smoothly. So I'm gonna sit down. Well, first I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna get started on school. All right, so normally what I do is, this is the new sheet. We haven't done this one yet, so we'll do that so I can explain it to you. But by now, Barrett understands how these works. He goes through and cuts the letters out, and then he figures out what sound goes to each word. So what is this?
Mailbox.
A mailbox. So what letter would we put there? M, because it makes the sound. So he's gotten really good at these. Honestly, I don't even really have to help him that much. He gets it. So while he's working on this, I'm going to get Oakley started on her first task. So I'm going to open up her book. I'm going to look here. On Wednesday, we need to read the scripture. We need to go over her memory verse, spelling, English. Yep, you can start cutting. American Pioneers and Patriots. We're going to read more on that. We get to listen to your patriotic songs of the USA on your CD player. And then her, her art. And then we're going to read another chapter in her Read Aloud, The Courage of Sarah Noble. So that's kind of how I get the day started. So Oakley, we're going to read over your Bible verse, okay? It says, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty. John 6:35. So that's the verse we're memorizing this week. All right, guys, so on Wednesday, Oakley has her spelling test. This is the spelling curriculum that we use. It was suggested by the My Father's World curriculum, and that's just what I went with. I like it so far. It comes with a teacher's manual. It helps you in the beginning, like tell you each lesson and how to help them with it. And then it just gives you like a little cheat sheet, I guess you'd call it. So for Oakley's book, this is hers, and this is how she's filled it out. We're currently on week 6, which is like a review of week 1 through 5. So I'm not going to test her on all these words because that would be a little daunting. So what I'm going to do is she has this notebook, just a regular notebook that we put spelling on, and she's been doing her spelling tests in here. I went through the notebook and I saw the words that she struggled with the most, the ones that maybe took her 1 or 2 times of testing to get right, and we're just going to go over those words today. Are you ready for the first word? Mm-hmm. The first word is cake. So while I helped Oakley with her spelling test, Barrett did this sheet. He did that all by himself. And then now I'm going to get him started on this sheet. So Barrett, you need to cut out the squares. Okay, so do that first, and then I'll check in with you in a minute, okay? Let me know when you're done. So while he's doing that, I'm going to help Sister. She has her language lessons for today, and how we do this is very similar to our spelling. We also have a language lessons notebook, and if there's any writing that needs to be done, then we do it in this notebook. So as you can see, we've done a couple in here. So I'm going to go to a blank page so she can write her name and the date. And then for her lesson today, we are on lesson 19. It says, write answers to any 3 questions about the cat in lesson 15 and make sure to use complete sentences. So we're going to pick 3 of these questions and we're going to write the answer with correct punctuation, okay? So why don't you write your name and the date, and then I'll ask you 3 questions. So while she's doing that, now I'm going to go back over to Barrett and help him out. All right, so I'm going to ask you the first question, okay? What does a cat eat?
Fish.
Okay,
a cat eats fish.
Perfect. So write that out with a capital and make sure you use a period at the end, okay? Sound out the words. So Barrett is almost done with this, and I'm going to help him. Okay, and what do you think would go in the last one?
A yellow.
A yellow apple. Okay, so take those off, and we're going to try it again. We're going to go a different way, okay? All right, what would go right here?
4 apples is red.
4 apples that are red. Okay, and what do you think would go right here?
1 yellow apple.
1 yellow apple, you're right. Okay, what do you think would go here?
4 yellow apples.
Good job. Last one. What do you think goes right here? 1 red apple. Good job. Now you can glue them on if you'd like, okay? Yes. All right, so Barrett finished his little sheet that he had to do. Now this is the part of our schedule where we kind of split up. I normally at this time let Barrett go sit on the couch or in my bed and do his turn of ABC Mouse, just because the next thing on our list for Oakley is our math. We are using Math UC this year, and I like to be able to like sit down and give her my full attention for math. And then the stuff that's left over for Barrett is things that he's going to need my full attention as well, which is like practicing the letters, they're the sounds of his letters, and reading easy words. So right now he is, let's see, he's over there on the couch. He's got his ABC mouse on the iPad, and Oakley and I are going to get started on math. All right, so Oakley ended up doing 2 math sheets, and then she asked if we could take a break and read for a little bit. So for today, we have another chapter in our American Pioneers and Patriots. It's not super long. We have this chapter, and then there's like a little unit review. So we have that to read, and then we also have her new read aloud, The Courage of Sarah Noble. We just started this. I think we're going to do chapter 3 today. So that's the reading that I'm going to do out loud, and then later today she'll pick a book to read. All right, so it's 11:30 right now, and we have finished with a majority of the work. We're done with all the work that we need to do, like sitting down at the table. Oakley needs to do a little bit of reading later. Barrett, we're going to practice his alphabet and the vowel sounds. And then I figured we could play a couple games. We've been playing Mancala lately. We played Yahtzee last night. They want to play that again, which is fine with me because it helps with their math. And then we also have the game Sequence Letters, which helps with the sounds of letters. So today's going to be kind of just a relaxed day. We're just going to kind of spread the rest of the school out throughout the day. But the kids have been asking to do something fun, and we have just the thing for that. So let me show you guys what we're going to do. All right, so this is what the kids want to do. Michael's boss actually picked this up at Costco for them a couple weeks ago, and we've just kind of been waiting to make this. So I'm going to set my phone up on the tripod and film this while the kids put this together. Guys, it's a little after 6 o'clock, and for dinner tonight I added a little clip in, but we're just gonna have meatball sub sandwiches. I used some frozen red sauce that I had made a while back, and then that bag of frozen meatballs. So they're in the crock pot right now. I cooked up some carrots and cauliflower, so really quick I just need to assemble the meatball subs and put them in the oven so the cheese can melt. So this is what the meatballs look like. I mean, they smell good. They're not homemade meatballs, so I'm sure they won't be as good. But I just have my cast iron pan with some stadium rolls. We were going to make sandwiches with these this weekend with our friends, but we didn't end up doing that, so we're going to meatball subs instead. So really quick, I'm going to assemble these and put them in the oven. All right, guys, we just finished with dinner, and surprisingly, for it being like a cheap frozen meatball, it wasn't that bad. The kids finished their plates, but Michael did just call. He's on his way home, so I'm gonna fix him up a plate here in a minute. It takes him about 30 minutes to get home. But for the rest of the evening, we're just gonna relax and hang out. I'm sure the kids will have us play another board game with them, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for tagging along today, and we'll see you on the next one.